So we're going to talk about tips for parents of students going to college. And the agenda tonight, we are doing a short intro, then we'll do important deadlines for college, resources on campus for your students, loans and financial aid, student debt. We're going to talk a little bit about that with parents, FERPA, college readiness and retention tips, what to expect the first year, and how you can support your student. Next, we're going to talk about important college deadlines. And basically, I just kind of outlined what a term can look like. And of course, the dates are not going to be the same for each term, obviously. But I only put the dates on there to kind of give an idea of the timeline of how far apart things happen. So for fall of this year, fall term will begin on September 23rd. And it goes until Christmas break. So fall term is from the end of September, middle-ish end of September to the beginning of December. So for them to start their classes, they'll start on the 23rd. October 4th is the last day to either add or drop a fall term course. And if you do drop it, at that time, you will still get 100% full refund if you drop the class. So you'll get reimbursed just for that class that you drop. But you also are able to add a class up until that time. So let's say they got into a class that they weren't really interested in, or they decided it just didn't fit their schedule that well. Students are able to drop that class, but then sometimes they'll need to add a class back in to keep their financial aid or to stay above being a full-time student. So that's one thing that we really want parents and students to be aware of, is that when you're dropping classes, you need to keep in mind if you're remaining as a full-time student for your scholarships, your financial aid, grants, all of that stuff, because sometimes you'll lose it if you don't stay full-time. So something to be aware of. Last day to withdraw from a fall term course and get half of your tuition back for that class would be the 18th of October. And then the last day to withdraw from a fall term course or change your grading basis, which means you can go from getting a letter grade to a pass, no pass. That date is November 13th for fall term, but there will be no refunds granted if you drop a class at that late date. Then I just put in that the 26th and 27th of fall term of November will be Thanksgiving break. And then starting November 17th, students can start registering for winter term. And that goes until December 4th. That's for a priority registration. And then December 5th through the 12th is winter term priority registration that has a wait list. So you can be waitlisted for a class in case it's full. Your student will go onto a list that's a waiting list to be let into the class. You can actually completely withdraw from fall term December 4th, but that would be with no tuition as well. And then fall term ends and finals week begins the next week. So finals week is when they'll take their final exams for their classes for the term. And that varies as to when those classes will, or those tests, excuse me, will be actually given to the students. So they can be anywhere from Monday to Friday for fall term. Winter break begins then the 14th of December. And then the 16th of December, the grades for fall term would be posted. And then February 1st of next year is when OSU scholarships are due. So they go into Scholar Dollars and sign up for those. And that's the priority deadline. So the student has a better chance of receiving scholarships the sooner they get that done. And then March 1st is the deadline for the OSAC scholarships. And FAFSA and ORSA opens October 1st, and OSAC actually opens November 1st. So those are just, it's kind of a rundown of what a term will look like. So then winter term, it'll be similar timeline, but obviously different dates, and same with spring term. So any questions about dates or happenings? And Jose, you have something to add?
Yeah, just one thing to know, because a lot of parents and students might be used to the semester system in high school. In K through 12 in Oregon, our school year is split up into 2 semesters. So you have the first half of the school year and then the second half, and then it's summer break again. In college, for most of the public universities, it's split up into trimesters. So you actually have fall term, winter term, and spring term. And each of the terms is 10 weeks long plus finals week. So it's a total of 11 weeks, with the last week being just dedicated for finals. And that's when they do all their final testing. So that's something to keep in mind, that it's 10 weeks for each term. And then each term they have a new set of classes.